Hi, this is Dr. Jenkins with the Educator's Edge, and I'm coming with the second video, part two of Relationship Building 101. And from the first video, you had an understanding that it's very, very important for us as educators to make sure that we have an opportunity, not just at the beginning of the year, but throughout the year to develop relationships and have engagement with our students. So today I want to expand upon that a little bit by sharing one particular thing with you today. And it says, your state of mind for being in the classroom does not have to reflect the state of education. I got to say that again. Your state of mind for being in the classroom does not have to reflect the current state of education. Just because we are engulfed in and we are surrounded by everything as it relates to education, sometimes we get into the culture of that and take on the mindset of what the state of education is. But we don't have to do that. We as teachers can come into our very own four walls of our classroom and create an entirely different environment for our students that can totally contradict what the state of education is today. That's how we make change for the state of education better. And so I have to say that just because we are dealing with situations with low pay, maybe even low or not as good of benefits, maybe we are dealing with a generation of AI and AI taking over a lot of what we think the future of our jobs are going to be for our students, does not necessarily mean that we have to just say, you know what we bring to the table no longer matters anymore. You got to remember that it always starts right here in the classroom before it starts pretty much anywhere else. Now, we can say, yes, it starts at home. Yes, parents do the work to raise their children, but they also bring them into this environment where we truly are with these children probably more hours in a day than the parents are. And so because of that, we have to make sure that in our relationship building, we think about who we want to be as educators. People first, but then as educators. When you first came into the classroom many, many years ago, or some of you are actually brand new right now, you thought that you was going to be able to make a difference. And I know as time have moved on, situations have moved on, the state of our country has totally changed. We sometimes don't think we have the same value or the same impact or substance to our kids. And so because of that, now I want you to change some things. I want you to come back to the love of what it was like when you first started, but I also want you to think about how to be on the cutting edge of who you are. In other words, once we bring back the level of education and think about the human element in that education, we can now get to a place where we feel better about what we do as teachers, as staff members, to have a sense of purpose again in education. So, what is my job? My job is to help you master skills to rewrite the codes for teaching and teaching from a place of strength so you can minimize the risk for being crushed by the weight of the classroom every day. And that's going to bring that sense of revival back to you where you have fun with your kids like it used to be at one time, where you want to know more about their lives, not just what's going on in the classroom, but what they have going on outside of the classroom. The kids will always come to your door and see a smile on your face and not you feeling like, oh my gosh, here we go again, another day of this. And those relationships start to bloom and blossom all over again because you got to the place of understanding who you are as an individual. And then what you can bring to your kids. All right. So I am Dr. Jenkins, again, of Educator's Edge. And I want to say this also, I didn't say this in the very first video. I am a 28-year educator. had the opportunity to teach all the way from elementary to collegiate level, have district trained in many districts across Georgia and Florida. And now just want to just bring everything that I've ever known now to the public of educators, because we're all in this together. And so I always say, you know, when there's things that's going on in school and in the classroom, I say, don't mess with Dr. Jenkins. So whenever you hear that, that's my mantra, because that's what it's all about. Don't mess with Dr. Jenkins. And you can say that too as an educator. Don't mess with Miss Smith. Don't mess with Mr. Jackson, because we have the expertise and all we want to do is share it with them. So this is our second part of Relationship Building 101. Stay tuned for more.